Hey folks, Eric Bray, Focus Fishing Guide Service. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Thursday, October 18th. Sorry getting this out a couple of days late. This is the first day in about a week that I haven't done at least 2 trips a day, so been pretty busy. Been on the water, been on Table Rock that entire time. Front came through last week. We talked about it. I was pretty excited about it, and over the weekend it was pretty tough, but as the fish have adjusted, or as everything's adjusted, the bites definitely got better, and we'll get into that a little bit later. As far as our lake level is concerned, we are at 912.11, which puts us almost exactly 5 feet down. A little bit of rain in the forecast tomorrow, but not a whole lot after that. And the quarry is continuing to generate electricity, so unless we get some rain, I really don't see that lake level coming up much at all. Water temperature, we're down. Well, today I'm at Eagle Rock, and around here we're at about 66, 67. Pretty much all over the lake, you're going to find 68 as the mean. If you get a sunny day like we had yesterday, by about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it'd raise back up to 70. But pretty much first thing in the morning, you're looking at 68 all over the lake. Some areas where you got a little bit more color in the water, like up here or up the James, you'll see 65, 66 in the morning, but you get some sunshine, and that does warm up pretty quick. So we did get a pretty massive temperature drop over the last 7 to 9 days. So definitely has the fish moving. Got a lot of bites going on. If you guys are coming down, say you're going to fish the lower end of the lake, I spent most of the weekend down on the lower end, or actually the last couple of days down on the lower end, and the bite's pretty strong down there. A couple of different bites going on. You can still catch them drop shotting if you want to, but whatever. Definitely want to have a jewel football jig tied on, 1/2 ounce, Okeechobee blue, green pumpkin candy, watermelon candy, any of those colors are working. Out on those gravel points, gravel runouts, anywhere from about 18 to 25 foot deep, even a little bit shallower. Catching those fish on gravel and gravel mixed with rock. Also started to catch them on a Jewel Pro Spider jig quite a bit over the weekend. Little bit shallower fish, 12 to about 20 feet deep on those. They seem to be on more rock, not necessarily big rock, but more of the chunky type rock, the fist size to almost basketball size rock. Definitely catching fish on a spider jig around there. Again, Okeechobee blue, green pumpkin candy, peanut butter and jelly, whatever your favorite color is. Matching both of those jigs up with either a J-tail or a beaver, catching fish on both of them, and using the speed crawl a little bit on the spider jig too. Catching fish on those. Squirrel head has started to come on really well too. The Jewel squirrel head and 1/4 ounce with either a beaver or a speed crawl on it, or a finesse worm, whatever you want to throw on that. Same locations we're catching those fish on the spider jig. You can catch them on a shaky head on that Jewel squirrel head. Anywhere from that, again, about 10 to 12 foot deep out to about 15 foot deep on those more chunky rock, but not really big ledge rock type banks. You can catch them on ledge rock a little bit too, but it seems like if you can find those banks or those points just off of the main lake that have got that chunk rock about the size of your fist to about the size of a basketball, got a lot of smallmouth have moved up and started feeding on that stuff. Did catch them up Long Creek on Monday and Tuesday on a spinnerbait, throwing a War Eagle white and chartreuse spinnerbait around laydowns. Most of those fish didn't get a lot of bites doing it, but caught some better quality, better largemouth, fishing around laydowns, fishing around wood with a spinnerbait. Was throwing a 3/8 ounce and basically working it as close to the wood and killing it by the wood. That's how we caught those fish on Monday and Tuesday. Have been catching a few more on a topwater as well. Spook and a whopper plopper have been the two best baits I've been throwing. The bigger super spook and the big whopper plopper. Really feel like that bite's going to turn on and get a lot better here in the next couple of weeks. So definitely want to have that tied on if you're fishing this weekend, or if you're fishing the Jack Emmett tournament next weekend or the Toyota tournament next weekend. I definitely have a topwater tied on. Go to Kimberling City, same bites are working. Catching a lot of fish on a squirrel head, anywhere on gravel mixed with rock, or just that chunky chunk rock, not the real big rock, but the fist size rock. Both main lake and secondary points, anywhere from about 10 to about 15, even 18 foot deep. Just depends. If you get a sunny day that it's calm, they'll be a little bit deeper. You get a cloudy day, they tend to be a little bit shallower. Using the squirrel head with either a beaver, a speed crawl, or a finesse worm. Catching them on the Pro Spider jig there as well. The 5/16 has been a little bit better bait because it moves through those rocks a little bit better. Okeechobee Blue, Green Pumpkin Candy, Peanut Butter and Jelly matched up with either a J-tail or the beaver. Again, on those secondary and main lake points, 10 to about 15 to even 20 feet deep if it's a sunny, calm day. Fishing slow, working it along the bottom, and just kind of hopping it over the rocks. It's a lot of smallmouth up there. Not catching as many blacks, not catching as many Kentuckies. Those fish will come a little bit later, but a lot of smallmouth have moved up shallower with this cooler water and started feeding on crawdads pretty heavy. Catching them on a football jig as well. Seems like if you want to catch a little bit better quality, though we have been catching some good ones up shallow, you want to catch a little bit better quality, pick up a jewel, either 1/2 ounce or 5/8 ounce football jig. Okeechobee Blue, Green Pumpkin Candy, Watermelon Candy, the same colors we talk about every week, matched up with a J-tail or matched up with a beaver. Fish it a little bit deeper on those same locations. Get it out there from about 18 to about 25. Not going to get nearly as many bites, but we have been catching some better quality out there, some bigger smallmouth and some largemouth out there a little bit deeper, holding on those deeper rocks. So you want to target better quality, throw a football jig. Definitely catching them on a football jig. Again, you can catch them fishing deep, but I got to be honest with you guys, I've been fishing deep for the last 3 months and I'm tired of it, so I've not fished deep for the last week and a half. Really haven't had to. Caught plenty of fish and some better quality fish up shallow. Didn't really throw a spinnerbait in Kimberling City this week, but we did catch them on a topwater there. Both the spook, the super spook, the bigger one, and a whopper plopper. Seems like that bites a little bit better there than it is down by the dam on more of the steeper type banks, more of the, not necessarily bluffs, but 45-degree chunk rock or bigger rock banks, putting the boat pretty close to the bank and basically paralleling. You're not going to get a ton of bites, but you will catch some fish doing that. And they tend to be a little bit better quality fish too. That seems to be where the largemouth are. They seem to be holding out there a little bit deeper, and if you parallel those steeper banks, seems like you can pick up a few largemouth on either a whopper plopper or a spook. Go up into the James, fish the James last Saturday, I think it was, and it was busy. Good night, there was a bunch of boat traffic up the James, but the James is fishing really strong. Doing well with a football jig up there. Jewel 1/2 ounce, 5/8 ounce, Okeechobee Blue, Green Pumpkin Candy, Peanut Butter and Jelly. Missouri Craw is working up there. It's a little bit darker color. It seems to be a little bit better the further up you get. Caught quite a few fish on that, matched up with either a J-tail or the beaver. Again, the fish on the football jig tend to be a little bit deeper. I would say 18 to 25 up there is where you're going to catch your football jig fish. If you're marking fish up shallow, you're seeing fish shallower, switch up to either a squirrel head or a spider jig. Both of those have been working really good up there. Spider jig, again, same colors, Okeechobee Blue, Green Pumpkin Candy, Missouri Craw, Brown Purple Flash. Those have all been good. Putting either a J-tail, putting a speed craw or a beaver on that. Been working a little bit shallower, that 10 to 18 foot deep. Did catch a few around docks last weekend up there as well, so the dock bite's starting to turn on a little bit too. Same with the squirrel head. Match that up with either a beaver or a finesse worm or a speed craw. Work it a little bit shallower. That 8 to about 15 foot depth range really seems to be good. Same sort of banks up there though. That chunkier rock, but not the big rock. More the fist to basketball size rock really seems to be key where those fish are holding out. Catching a few more largemouth up there doing it. Caught a lot more largemouth around docks than we did out on the points, out on the main lake or on secondary points, but definitely has a good bite up there. If you get up around Woolly and Piney, did catch a few up there on a spinnerbait as well. Again, the War Eagle, white and chartreuse, or just white with a little bit of gold on it and gold blades on the white one. Throwing it around laydowns in the backs of those creeks, anywhere you've got wood in the water, it really seems like the better largemouth, or if they are moving up, you get a cloudy day or a windy day, key on wood. That really seems to be where those largemouth are hanging out. So throw that around wood. And we caught them on a topwater as well up there, both the whopper plopper and the spook. Again, on steeper banks. So it seems like the better fish are coming off of those steeper banks. They're not out on those flats or out on the gravel. They're on steeper banks. They haven't moved up all the way yet. White River, where I am today, all the way up at Eagle Rock, we had a pretty incredible day today, guys. I'd say we had 70 fish in 4 hours. Kind of quit counting after we got over 35, and it was just silly. Got onto a real good school, a mixed school of white bass, largemouth, spotted bass. Even had about a 5-pound walleye come out of the group. So A lot of fish back in a couple of the creeks. Some really good schools up here. Same bites are working up here. We started off the day with a squirrel head and a spider jig. Quarter-ounce squirrel head matched up with a speed crawl, matched up with a beaver, fishing those chunk rock banks, ends of the channel swing type banks. Did really well with that early. Caught them pretty good on a spider jig as well. Was throwing Okeechobee blue, but you can use green pumpkin candy, watermelon candy, any of those. Matched up with either speed crawl or a beaver. Did well on that as well. Caught them up here on a scuba spoon, but you know, when I say spoon, don't think they were really, really deep. We were in a main creek channel and they started busting shad, and caught a few on a whopper plopper and a couple on a spook, and got a little bit closer to the channel and noticed that they were really hunkering down about 25-30 feet right on the bottom, and we started dropping the Jewel scuba spoon down there, and it was on. It was Katie bar the door. I mean, we just got fish after fish after fish. I don't know how many doubles, how many triples we had, but it was a really fun day with a scuba spoon. But we caught them on the jig, we caught them on the squirrel head, we caught them on a spoon, we had a few on topwater as well with the whopper plopper, with the spook. Convinced if we wouldn't have been catching them that good, once this cloud cover moved in, a little bit of wind we got, we probably would have caught them on a spinnerbait up here too. But all these bites are working all over the lake. We just happened to pull in the right spot, right time, found those fish, grouped up real good in a creek channel. Might be a bite you look for. A lot of fish, not a lot of big fish, but a lot of largemouth, a lot of spots, and some white bass. Just everything was in this one creek channel. And we went to another creek channel and found a few more in there. So it's definitely a pattern that you can use if you're not catching them shallow, getting some of these main channels where it bends, and look for those shad and look for the fish down there on the bottom, because we did catch quite a few doing that. Well, we had over 70 today, so it was an unbelievable day. But guys, the bite is finally turning on. It's only going to get better, man. As this water cools off, as these fish move up, it's only going to continue to get better. This is some of the best fishing of the year. The only thing that's better is in spring when they get done spawning and they're up shallow. But man, we're catching a lot of fish right now. If you guys are coming down, like the folks I had today, they have a lake house, and they bought a lake house, they bought a boat, having a hard time catching fish season to season. So we've been out in the spring, the summer, and the fall. Now they know how to catch them in the fall. If you got a lake house down here, you want to learn how to catch them, give me a call. If you want to just go out and fish for fun, give me a call. I mean, October's pretty well booked up. November's pretty open. And so if you guys are thinking about coming down in November, maybe for the Christmas shows or Christmas lights, and you want to go out and fish for a morning, give me a call. We'll get out, we'll have a good time, we'll catch some fish. But whatever the reason, you want to hire a guide, call me. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743. Hit my website, focusfishing.com. You can either book online or shoot me an email, whatever works out best for you. We'll pick out dates, times, when you're in town, when you want to go fishing, but get a hold of me. We'll go out and catch some fish and have a good time. Guys, thanks for watching the videos. Take a minute to subscribe if you haven't, but thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.